Okay, here is a quick explanation. We have this situation here where we're using piano tracks with one actress and live piano playing with the other actress and the other cast. Okay, so I've created these two events here. They are here duplicates. They're actually at the top of the show. So at the top of the show, before you start, you have to make sure you fire this one here when you want to use piano tracks, or this one here when you use live piano. This prepares the entire show down here to react accordingly. And I've just copied these two groups down here so that it's easier to show, so I don't have to scroll up and down all the time. So when we're using piano tracks, let's say we have selected this at the top of the show. So when we're using piano tracks, then right here, this 18B on page 83, visual cue when Beth starts to play for the first time. This then plays the piano track. Okay, piano track plays, and at the same time, the Go cursor arms the next event on page 84, which is applicable only if Eva is Beth. And it's Cue Beth, it'll be an honor, sir, which triggers the second time they play the piano. And that means it plays the second track. Now, that then skips this one. As you can see, the cursor, Go cursor, has armed the next track over here, which is on page 85, the next one. Okay, so that's easy. All right, now, so that's the version with piano tracks. Now, when we use live piano, we fire this group at the top of the show. I'm going to fire it right here, right now, so I don't have to scroll up and down. And now, when 18B on page 83 happens, visual, when Beth starts to play for the first time, you still hit this cue, but in this case, the track isn't playing because she's playing the piano live. And the cursor advances to this track, Claire only, Cue Joe, I've been wanting to write you. So that means this, in this version, this cue right here, 190, is skipped because this one says Eva only. But you don't have to worry about it because when it's Claire, it skips automatically to this and arms this cue next, which is a different cue line, which is on page 85. And then when you hit that one, it actually triggers this this music, which is past the piano playing, and then advances to the next cue here. All right. So there's nothing that you need to worry about, nothing that you need to do. It's automatically from this cue. It's automatically going to the next cue that's applicable, depending on which actress is playing Beth. So after you fire this cue will either play a track or it won't play a track, but it has to be fired either way because there's mutes and lights and other things involved. So this cue has to be fired anyway. But in one case, it plays a track, and the other one it doesn't. And then it also, after this cue, advances to either this one or that one, depending on which cast member there is. So there's nothing manually here to select for you. After you hit this cue, it's going to be on the cue that's next. And then you just have to pay attention to the different cue lines and don't inadvertently, look at this cue line in your script and fire this cue. All right, so just pay attention to this entry here, Eva only, but you don't actually have to do anything. You just have to not misread your script and fire the wrong cue, fire this cue when it's actually marked for this cue here. All right, so that's that explanation. I hope this is clear enough. I'm going to take these ones out now, so we're done with the demonstration here, because you're going to select that at the top of the show, because this is not the only place where this applies. The other places are not as complicated because it's just not going to play the tracks, but it's not skipping cues and things like that. So that's just for this case, this place here, where this is a little bit more complicated and warrants a special explanation, which you now have.